And now, an important announcement. Good afternoon, YouTube. Here with you on a Thursday afternoon, I believe. I probably won't be around for a while. I've got some issues to work on, computer-related issues, nothing personal like that. The server that I have down here under the bench is really starting to bug me a little bit. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. It has never done what it's supposed to do, actually. And as such, I think I just realized I knocked over my twiddle sticks. All this stuff I've been moving around. It has basically been a pain in my butt ever since I put it down there, not because of where it's at, but because it doesn't work. This server, while I had OS X on it, it worked flawless. It served my files to me just like I wanted it to, and I went and decided it was time to upgrade the operating system to a Linux version, and I have been paying for it ever since. So what I've decided to do is take it out of there. In fact, I have it sitting behind me on the floor, unhooked. Obviously, there was only a Ethernet cable, power cable, and I had the monitor cable hooked up to it. And I'm gonna, when I put one back in there, it's gonna have a monitor cable in there just in case I need to hook up a monitor and do something to it, because without that cable, and I have a bunch of those cables laying around, so there's no sense in not having one lay there at the ready if I need it. So we're going to do that, and going to take this into the living room or somewhere that I can get an Ethernet connection and set it up to where I can work on it. I'm really thinking of using a different motherboard because this motherboard is an older motherboard, and I have several that are much better and they're just sitting around not being used. So I figure, you know, it's time to do something with them and use them. So that's what I'm going to do. But I need somewhere to set up this all up so I can work on it. I had my whole bench just totally filled with all the boxes and everything from down here, and I don't like that, and I want to get, that's why I took it out, because I don't want to have to leave all this stuff out here. And I put everything back until this thing gets totally workable, and then I can stick it back there. I'm thinking about using a different case and whole different system, and I may do that. We'll have to see. I've got one in the kitchen. It would actually do me good to get it out of there, because Kylie would like that. But so that's what I'm going to be doing, and if you don't see any videos out of me for a while, that's what I'm doing. I do have a couple packages out for delivery today. One I'm pretty sure what it is. The other one I'm not sure at all. So surprises in the mail. I did get a reply back from Amazon on my status as far as a reviewer. It seems that you're gonna think this is pretty lame of them, but it is what it is. On their community guidelines, it states pretty clearly that in order to use leave a review, I keep bubbling up my, anyway, in order to leave a review, product review, you have to purchase at least $50 in goods from Amazon over a 12-month period, you know, the previous 12 months. And I've met that far exceeded that. I've got probably closer to $300 worth of stuff on that. So, but the problem is, it says after that, it says with a valid credit or debit card. Now, here's the catch. When I set up my Amazon account, I did use a credit card, debit card, whatever it was, one or the other. I can't remember which it was, but it's been a long time ago. And when I moved here to Seymour, I was having to constantly, you know, update the cards because one of them expired, or you know, whatever, I didn't have it anymore, whatever the case was. So I decided there was an option on there to use their checking account to pay for things, and that's much easier. You don't have to, it never expires. You don't have to worry about it. And that's what I did. And that's what I use to buy things on Amazon. And so, therefore, I do not use a debit or credit card. I use my checking account. And that, as far as I know, is the reason, because when they got back to me, they specifically said you have to use a debit or credit card. And I wrote back to them and told them it was an unfair policy. I said it should not matter to them how I pay for whatever I buy from them. It should just matter that I bought it from them and I did pay for it. You know, that's just stupid on my part. And I have wrote back to ComLife and told them what's going on, and they understood. They said just leave feedback, which I had already done anyway. But so I don't know how it's going to turn out. I did reply, like I said. I don't know if they'll get back with me. I don't expect them to change their policy, obviously, but, you know, it's just a stupid, very stupid and nitpicking type of thing. How I pay for, you know, the things I want to review, that's just dumb. I mean, it's like saying, you know, your money's no good. I mean, unless it's a debit or a credit card, which, you know, that only enriches the debit and credit card companies. So, you know, I don't understand the whole thing, but that was their reasoning, and it does make sense, but whatever it is. So that, until that gets resolved further, that's the way that stands. So I had thought about just changing my payment method to my debit card and making $50 more payment, and then I could review it, but I'm not going to do that because that's stupid. I mean, why should I have to spend another $50 to when I've already spent close to $300 in their allotted time and not being able to do that? That's stupid. So anyway, that's that. And like I said, I just kind of wanted to come on here quickly. I know, Marty, this is not quick, but and explain what happened, or where I will be. And I have yet to decide exactly how I'm going to set this up, because I'll need an Ethernet connection, and I don't have those coming out the yin yang. You know, they're just not available anywhere. I have one long one running over to my chair in the living room. I guess I could use it, but then I wanted to use, that's what I want to use to check to see if I can access the server. So I think I'm gonna have to set it up maybe. Oh, that's another thing. This it's hard to see, but this is a 1 gigabit switch, Ethernet switch, and this is not that old. You can see it's still got the plastic on it. This thing doesn't work. Read that name, US Robotics. I always thought they were pretty good, but this one flew to coop, and I kept trying to work with it, trying to work with it, and all the indicators for the ports would light up and they would flash, just all of them flash at once, and that's the only thing I can get out of it. So that's gone. Now I basically just use the cable that runs in here like I do the one in the living room and run it directly into the computer, which it works that way. So, you know, why should I care? I don't plan on putting a bunch more computers in here or anything like that. But if that would work, I could hook that up in the living room, and, you know, then I could have 2 computers running in there and, you know, access both of them, and that would be perfect. But, you know, as it is, that doesn't work. So I've either got to find another switch or hub or whatever, and either try that or hook directly to the router. Maybe, I don't know if I could probably use one of my grandson's connections, because he's not been here for so long, and just set it there and maybe in the hallway and on a table or something. And of course then I'm gonna have to run back and forth to find out if it's working or not. So I don't know. We'll see. The last thing I have done with this is a product called Open Media Vault. I think is what it's called. It's something like that anyway. It's supposed to be the easiest one to set up, and so far it hasn't been that bad. The problem I'm having is I installed it on this computer and I can't get it to, number one, reboot after the initial install. It just hangs up and won't reboot. and then I have to use the reset switch on the computer to reset it. It does boot up, and then it gives all kinds of error messages, but to my surprise, I go into the living room and it shows that it's working. I know it's not right. That's one of the reasons I don't want to do this. I cannot stand to have a piece of software like that run like that, and even though it's working, errors pop up and every once in a while. It's just, I don't like that. So I want to fix that, get that to where it's supposed to be, and get this where I can use my files that's on the server and actually have it working. So that's my objective, and I'm going to do this until I get this working. So you may not see me for a month. I doubt it'll be that long, but like I said, I think the whole problem is this motherboard is older. It does have a dual core processor in it, but it was one of the first ones to have dual core, probably in the early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s. So like I said, I'm just thinking maybe that's the problem. As far as I know, I've been using this server for a long time, and it ran, like I said, OS X fine, and sorted the files that way, and I could always go back to that, but I don't want to. I want something a little newer, and I want something a little better. So, and this Open Media Vault has a web interface to where you can go in and make changes, and that's good for me. Right now, the way it sits, I have it to where I can go into my Windows computer and click on Open Media Vault Server, which is this one, and see the two drives I have set up. One is called AVD for audio video data, and the other one is just plain data, and it has more plain data on it. But I can access both of them, but I do not see any files listed when I click on them. So that's the problem I'm having there, and there's just too many little problems here and there. So I want to get that straightened out and get this done with, and I am going to stick it back in a hole, and I'll show you when I get done. I think there's a clear case computer in there that may fit in there as well as this one does, and if it does, I may use it, because I don't know. This is a small case, and that's quite a bit bigger case, and I think it would be better cooling. So like I said, that's what I'm doing. And once I get this thing set up and running like it should and get it where I can access, I'll be done. I'll be happy. So I started to say I will come back and tell you what I got in the mail, but I won't. One of them is a capacitor, electrolytic capacitor selection from China. So that's coming. Oh, another update. I got, y'all remember, or you may remember, that I had problems with the Unity UT210E meter that I bought. I have purchased that now 4 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 times on eBay. The first 3 ended with getting a notice that the seller had been removed and that the listing was no longer good, and I got my refunds. Now, the other day, yesterday or the day before, I got that same notice for this last one. Now, this is a U.S. seller. Good feedback. Well, I say good feedback. More positive than negative. I think it was up around 98%, something like that. But I got that notice, but this time it wasn't for the seller. It was for the listing. The listing had been removed. That eBay had removed the listing, and so right away I'm thinking, oh, here we go again, because the if you check on the and they did provide a USPS tracking number, and if you click on that, it says it's in Kearney, New Jersey. It has been there since the 18th of this month, and I thought, well, it's not going anywhere. It's another scam. I figured, that was my figuring. So I wrote and it gives you the option to, write the seller and request a refund, whatever. So I did, and he got back with me this morning, I think, or maybe yesterday, I can't remember. But he says that the USPS, it's one of those shipping partner things, it is in transit, and it will be here, and asked me to just, bear with him or whatever. And so I'm going to give him a little more time. I think eBay said to wait so many days or whatever it is. So when that's up and it's not here, I am going to be getting refund from that one way or the other. So but if it doesn't show up, now it may show up, I don't know, you know, it would be the first time. I guess there's always a first time, but anywho, that's what's going on there with that. And I really want the meter. I'd rather have the meter, to tell you the truth, but you know, I've been trying and can't seem to get one. So I understand the ones I bought, you know, that clicked on them were $9 or $8 or whatever it was. Yeah, you're gonna figure that's something wrong with that, because these are normally going for, I think I paid $42 for this one. They're normally up in that range, and I figured anything below that probably on eBay was a scam after the second one, you know, or third one, whatever it was. But anyway, I'm hoping that I get this, and I will let you know if I do get that, and that'll be good. And so that's it. I've been blabbering, and haven't really said too much of anything. But that's where I'm going to be, is working on this computer, and hope you guys can get along without me for a few days. You got along without Jack for a few days, so maybe you can give me the same latitude there, I hope. And you guys have a pleasant day. It is 1 o'clock now in the afternoon, and I have to pick up Kylie here in a little bit. And so you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we will see you.